Okay, so I'm watching Russell Brand talk, and he made me think about something. It's basically the fact that if you want to watch the thing that inspired this, it's what Russell Brand learned by living with a homeless man. Powerful JRE. I I've also done crazy shit, as you might imagine. Like my girlfriend Dakota and I were essentially living as like crazy homeless people in the post-apocalypse. All we cared about was having fun and doing drugs. Like, we had a house to crash at, and I don't think I'm alone in doing that based on what I see in the world and what Russell Brand is saying. I think that when COVID happened, a whole bunch of people realized that just because you say it's the 21st century and that we have to do X, Y, and Z because we're new civilized people, that ain't necessarily so. And the homeless man living under the bridge knows this more than all. Like, he's living a life that is much akin to those fucking 35,000 years ago in a cave. He's fucking doing rock art on the side of the fucking highway. That dude is living in the end of the world. Already. Right now, basically, you are determined into how much you are experiencing the end of the world by how much money you have. And, honestly, if I hadn't had my car as an investment, I would have been really, really fucked. I would have been damn near penniless. But my car was worth basically every penny it was when it was new because of the shit going on. That saved me. Otherwise, like, I don't know where I'd be right now. And like, I guess the point of this is the world has ended. The Roman Empire has fallen. This is why Afghanistan fell. This is why Russia invaded the Ukraine. This is why China is getting ready to do whatever it's going to do. We don't have the power financially or militarily to project power to stop them from doing what they are doing, and they know it. So it's not like the world went kaboom, but we're in the collapse of the Roman Empire. This is what it looks like. This is why I'm, outfitting my gypsy wagon. Time to go find someplace new, I guess. Like, that's part of it. For those who don't know the history of the gypsies traveled all the way from India to get to Europe. They were outcasts in India that everyone hated, and they kind of played music and did their own thing and traveled around, and some empire came to reign there, and they said, fuck it, started heading towards Europe. They went to Turkey, through Asia from India. And it was this slow progress of like, going from town to town, singing your way and doing whatever they could to make fucking money and get food and whatever. Eventually, they ended up in fucking like Transylvania and Germany and places like that, like roaming all over Europe as fucking musicians. I say this because, like, this is what my van is about. I don't really know where we're headed. I don't know what we're headed into. And I wanted something super, super fucking cheap that you could live out of, that would last a pretty long time, that there's a ample supply of parts for here in the US. I chose a fucking Honda minivan. We'll see how that bet goes, but the Empire has been dealt a near fatal blow as far as I can tell. And some of it was COVID, and some of it was just the fact that people were tired and COVID made them snap. Like, Dakota and I both met wandering around downtown Tulsa at night high. So, assuming we weren't alone doing that, and that especially in these like major cities, people all over the place were doing that shit. For them, the world had ended. And I think some percentage of our society, that is how this is. And like I think that is the brave new world, really. Like I am the Dennis Leary from Demolition Man of the Brave New World. There's going to be those of us that refuse to live in their society and play by their rules, and we don't get put in jails, but we don't get fucking help either. And like that's going to be how it is everywhere, I think. What's even worse than that is they may force you to take their help. Help. That shit's gonna start a war. I know, because I'm not the only person that thinks like me, and there's a whole bunch of people that aren't fucking homeless that would rather be homeless than be told what to do by them every moment of every day. So, I hope most of Texas and Oklahoma is ready to be homeless. Like, this is half of the thing, too, is that they're buying up all the goddamn land, all the fucking houses. And this is where, like, seems to me the world's ending because the corporations are buying everything and going to war. Like, I was listening to Russell Brand talk about this shit, and it just, like, it echoes with me, man. We are watching the world unravel. It already ended, and it's how far is this going to unravel? Or is it going to come back together? Or what's going to happen? That's the big, like, what if, right? And what I'm telling you is I don't think the United States government can do dick about it. I think this situation was pretty much created by them or people that are deeply involved in them, and that they did this for strategic reasons. I think someone wants America taken down a peg on the world stage, and for us to go through like a Civil War-esque period so that they can grab more power. Look at what happened last time after the Civil War, how much the fucking federal government expanded. They would love to have an excuse to do that again. And if all the red states just fucking leave, I bet you we see a federal force of fucking, lefty kids march down into fucking, Texas and Florida and shit to take those states back. They'll kill all you fuckers and take all your shit. And then they'll put Democrats down there. We have a foreign power inside of our country that is trying to take over our country, and it is the Democratic Party. When they start losing elections, they will start fighting wars. Mark my words. They want us out. They don't like us. They didn't like us 100 years ago. They don't like us now. I've been studying world history, and this shit goes back to the fucking Pilgrims versus the Jamestown colonists. They're two very different groups of people that came to this fucking country. And they formed two fucking very, very firm camps of political parties. And that's honestly what's going on in this country today. So we built that fucking two-camp system. And into this, we have had money just fucking run its dirty fingers all over it. And, like, I think that's just the nature of politics in a way, but it didn't used to be. Anyway. Yeah, I think we are in the end of the world. That's why Russia and China bought up all the food. That's why when they did that, that's why I bought a bunch of canned goods. It's like, what did they know that we don't? I bought enough food for several years when I did that. And again, that was because I just sold the car and had the money to do it. And fuck, man, that shit's gone through the roof. Even I bought a shitload of cans of Spam, and those have basically doubled. The Mountain House I bought for $29 a can to $34 a can, and now it's $100 a can. This is some of the signs that we are in the end of the world. Like, the time to prep is technically over. It's been over for a minute. I've been kind of living increasingly poorer to still prep. This is why, I'm taking another big break and buying some nice knives. And like, the thought there is basically it's like silver or gold or whatever. It's, high-end steel, but I enjoy it more and it's more useful. I don't know. It helps me look forward to something, and I need to buy other shit for preps. But I'm going to worry about that in a few weeks. I need to meet up with a buddy of mine and get a shotgun too. And like, this is half of why I'm like, I don't have money to prep really, but I might have money to buy some knives. So, and really I'm trying to like narrow down the list of shit that I'm really hardcore prepping on. And at this point, my rifle and my fucking car, I'm in a hardcore prep on, and then I'm gonna do ammo and food. And I've already pretty much got the food done, so I'm gonna do ammo mostly, but I need to add back to food. I've been eating out of it because you need to cycle through and whatever. And honestly, food prices were so high, I was like, let's take the gamble, eat out of our stores for a little bit and see if it goes down. It really hasn't gone down. Some things do. Like, it's helped to watch the market. Like, this is where, if you're watching this in the future wondering what you should do to prep, the food thing is pretty hardcore, but you have to buy the right shit. Like, I'm going to have to do a whole series on that. It doesn't help you to buy a bunch of food that sucks. I had the benefit of having eaten a whole bunch of fucking